Your life is about to change forever. Prepare for overflow. Close your eyes for a moment, not to escape, but to remember. The world you see outside is but the echo of your inner conviction. If you've been waiting for signs, for doors to open, for opportunities to arrive, the wait ends now. Because the truth is, your life is not changing, it has already changed the moment you felt it within. Overflow isn't something you chase, it is something you align with. You don't become wealthy when the money shows up, you become wealthy when your spirit refuses to feel lack, when your mind no longer entertains limits, when you walk into the room knowing that you are the prize, not in arrogance but in deep spiritual recognition. The river of overflow is not found in your bank account but in your belief system. When you assume the reality of abundance, the world must comply. You are the author of your state. The script follows your self-concept. And so, the chaos you may feel, the collapse of relationships, the sudden ending of routines, that's not your life falling apart. That's your former identity breaking down. The universe is clearing out what can no longer hold the weight of your coming greatness. You are not being punished, you are being prepared. Prepared for overflow, prepared for favor, prepared for a life so full it will not make sense to the person you used to be. So walk today, not by sight, but by the inner knowing that your destiny is not in front of you, it is within you. Feel the shift. Speak the truth of it. Act as if it's already done. You are never waiting for the overflow. The overflow was waiting for you to become the vessel big enough to hold it. Now you are. Your life doesn't shift because circumstances change. Circumstances change because you did. The new life you desire begins the moment you assume it is already yours. In consciousness. Everything you experience in the outer world is an echo of your inner belief. The world is not happening to you, it is happening through you. And this truth, when fully accepted, becomes the foundation for total transformation. It is not action, luck, or external force that reshapes your life. It is the unseen act of assumption, the quiet decision to occupy the feeling of the wish fulfilled, that sets your world ablaze with change. Most people wait for a sign to believe, a result to feel secure, a door to open to feel chosen. But this is the reverse of the creative process. Life mirrors you. It does not lead you. It reflects the image you hold of yourself in the secret chamber of your imagination. The person who believes they are unloved, unsuccessful, or stuck will continuously find the world offering them proof of that belief. But the moment that same person dares to assume a new identity, to feel chosen, to feel prosperous, to feel worthy, the script begins to rewrite itself. You must not wait for evidence. You are the evidence. Your inner ascension is the cause. The outer condition is merely the delayed effect. When you truly change the conception of yourself, all things in your reality begin to bend to that new image. No force on earth can prevent the appearance of that which you already claim as yours in consciousness. If you are still looking outward to see if it is working, you are missing the point. The power is not in watching. The power is in being. The person who assumes wealth doesn't check their bank account every hour to confirm it. They walk in the mental atmosphere of abundance. They think abundantly. They dress, speak, and expect as if the wealth has already arrived. And because their inner state has changed, their outer world must reflect it. This is not about pretending, it is not delusion, it is alignment. It is spiritual authority. It is choosing to live from the end, not toward it. The moment you feel yourself to be the version of you that already possesses the desire, the work is done. The invisible shift has occurred, and everything visible must now rearrange itself to match it. So stop asking how it will come or when. That is not your concern. Your only task is to be it, to embody it, to remain loyal to the unseen image that lives within you. The world will respond, the people will show up, the opportunities will arrive, not because you chased them. Circumstances are powerless unless you give them meaning. But your assumptions, they are the seed of all things. Plant them wisely, nourish them daily, and watch as the world reflects the garden you've grown inside. Change your assumption and you will change your world forever. Overflow is not money, fame, or success arriving first. It is the inner flood of conviction that nothing is missing. When you feel full, life mirrors that fullness in ways you cannot imagine. We are often taught that abundance is something to chase, that it lives somewhere out there, tied to numbers, titles, or recognition. But true overflow is not the accumulation of material things. It is the vibration of wholeness that begins inside you. It is not something you acquire. It is something you remember. The world around you can only echo what you believe yourself to be. If you feel empty, you will walk into rooms and see rejection, scarcity, and delay. But if you feel full of gratitude, of faith, of quiet knowing that all is already well, then life responds by offering more of what already lives inside you. Once you learn this, you will learn. This is why some people attract blessings effortlessly, while others struggle despite hard work. The difference is not effort, it's embodiment. It's the inner reality they have made more real than what their five senses can currently perceive. When you overflow internally, life bends to reflect that abundance. You must realize you are not waiting for overflow. You are delaying it every time you believe it is not yet yours. The moment you stop searching and start feeling it, you call it forth. It cannot be withheld from one who walks in the energy of sufficiency. The door doesn't open because you knock harder. It opens because you know you belong on the other side. People think overflow means excess, but spiritually, overflow is the complete absence of lack. It is not how much you have, but how little you need to prove your worth. It is the unwavering belief that you are safe, loved, guided, and chosen, regardless of what the world appears to say. From that state, you become magnetic. Your energy speaks before your words. Your calm becomes a command. Your peace becomes power. So stop saying, I'll feel abundant when the money comes. Say instead, the money comes because I already feel abundant. This reversal is the secret. You are the signal. The universe is the echo. You set the tone, and life follows. You are not here to beg for overflow. You are here to expect it, to live in such harmony with it that it has no choice but to manifest. The only thing that has ever separated you from what you desire is the belief that it was ever outside you to begin with. So go within. Feel the fullness. Dwell in the unseen wealth of your being. Recognize that you lack nothing. Not love, not purpose, not destiny. All is present. All is complete. All is available now. And from this inner flood of certainty, the outer world must mirror your truth. Overflow begins within. Anchor yourself there. The rest will follow. You will never rise above the image you hold of yourself. When you see yourself as blessed, abundant, favored, unstoppable, the law of life must arrange itself to reflect that identity. Everything in your life flows from one silent, powerful place, your self-concept. The image you hold of yourself, not what you say out loud, but what you believe in the quiet moments, is the mold through which life is poured. It is the root. All effects, all experiences, all conditions are simply branches growing from it. You do not get what you want. You get what you are, and what you are is determined by who you believe yourself to be. This belief is the law's only instruction. The law does not argue. It does not reason. It does not take sides. It simply reflects. Like a mirror, it gives you a perfect reproduction of the idea you have claimed as your truth. You have to claim it as a truth. If you see yourself as limited, stuck, small, or broken, life will bend to support that view. If you see yourself as abundant, powerful, and deeply worthy, life will rise to confirm it. Not because you forced it, but because your inner state leaves no other choice. The outer world must follow the inner one. That is the law. Many people change their actions, their habits, their routines, but never change the one thing that truly matters: their identity. They pray for miracles while secretly believing they are undeserving. They write affirmations with their mouth, but contradict them in their self-talk. The law does not respond to what you say once. It responds to what you are consistently. This is why the shift must be internal. You must decide who you are, and then persist in that decision. It will feel unnatural at first. Your old self-concept will scream for attention, will try to pull you back into familiar patterns of lack, fear, and doubt. But your job is not to fix the old. It is to embody the new, to become the version of you that already has it, already is it, already knows it's done. When you adopt the identity of someone who is favored by life, who walks in divine timing, who is always in the right place at the right time, everything begins to rearrange itself to match that vibration. People respond to you differently. Opportunities present themselves. Doors open, not because the world changed, but because you did. This is the quiet miracle of self-concept. The moment you see yourself differently, the world sees you differently too. So don't try to manipulate circumstances. Don't chase after results. Go deeper. Change the cause. Change you. Think, speak, walk, and breathe as if you are already the person you wish to become. See yourself as blessed, as abundant, as chosen, as unstoppable. Persist in that identity until the world cannot help but agree with you. That is how the law works. That is how change becomes permanent. You will never rise above the image you hold of yourself. So raise it and watch the world rise with you. Don't panic when things begin to fall apart. That is the crumbling of the former you. It is a holy unraveling, a divine undoing. The birth pains of a new world that is about to overwhelm you with good. We are taught to fear endings. We resist the collapse, the closing chapters, the silence that follows what once felt secure. But when you begin to shift internally, when you adopt a new self-concept, when you assume a higher identity, the life that was built around the old version of you can no longer remain. It must fall. It must dissolve. Not to punish you, but to prepare you. Everything that is not aligned with the new must leave. This includes people, places, patterns, and even opportunities that once felt like blessings. When things seem to be slipping away, don't reach for them in desperation. Understand that it is the law in motion. Realignment in progress. What you call chaos is really liberation. What you call chaos is divine order being restored. You prayed for a new reality. You imagined yourself abundant, loved, chosen, favored. But that version of you cannot exist within the old framework. The world you once knew is based on the assumptions and energy of who you used to be. Now that you've decided to rise, the scaffolding of your former life is collapsing. And it has to, because the new world that is coming cannot be built on the weak foundation of your past self. This is why the in-between feels so intense. It's the death of what was and the labor of what is being born. It's uncomfortable, it's confusing, but it's sacred. Don't try to stop the unraveling. Don't tape together what was meant to break. Let it go. The version of you that clings to familiarity cannot hold the abundance meant for the version of you that trusts the process. When the job ends, the relationship shifts, the door closes. Pause. Don't panic. Ask yourself, who am I becoming? What is life clearing space for? Because something is coming. It always does. Nature abhors a vacuum. When the old leaves, the new must enter. But it only enters for the one who is not afraid to let go. You are not being abandoned, you are being upgraded. The universe doesn't destroy, it rebuilds. But it must tear down what cannot carry the weight of the future you've chosen. And though the dismantling feels like darkness, it is actually light in disguise. It is divine love, doing for you what you cannot do for yourself. You asked for more. This is what more looks like before it becomes visible. So hold still. Breathe. Trust. This is not your ending. This is your rebirth. The old must collapse to make way for the new. Let it. You are not asked to hope for change, you are asked to embody the change. Walk, talk, and think from the place of already having it, and the physical will bow to the spirit. Faith is not wishful thinking. It is not sitting quietly and hoping something shifts. Faith is bold. It is daring. It is assuming the reality of what the world has not yet confirmed. Faith is living from the invisible with such certainty that the visible has no choice but to catch up. You are not being tested to see how long you can wait. You are being invited to become the version of you that already has what you desire. That version does not beg, does not plead, and does not worry. That version knows. It carries a calm, inner confidence that the seed planted in spirit must produce fruit in form. When you live by faith, you reverse the world's rules. The world says, I'll believe it when I see it. But the truth is, you will see it when you believe it. Your assumption creates your experience, not the other way around. So many delay their blessings because they are still asking when or how. But the law does not respond to timelines or logic. It responds to identity. It responds to the one who decides, I am already what I seek. That decision, held long enough, bends reality. Faith is not passive. It is a posture. It is the invisible agreement you make with the unseen that says, I trust the process more than the appearance. I trust the vibration more than the facts. I trust the end result more than the present delay. You are not required to force anything. You are required to become it. If you want love, you must live as if you are already deeply loved. If you want wealth, you must embody the version of yourself who feels wealthy, generous, confident, secure. If you want healing, you must carry yourself as whole, restored, vibrant. The outer world follows the inner reality, never the other way around. To embody the change is to commit to it before anyone applauds you, before any evidence shows up, before anything makes sense. It is to walk into a room as the person who already has the answered prayer. Not because you're pretending, but because you know the spiritual is more real than the temporary illusion of lack. The greatest faith is not shouting or begging or striving. It is quiet inner knowing. It is silent conviction. It is the walk that says, I have already received, while the world still sees nothing. That kind of faith moves mountains. That kind of faith calls things forth from the unseen realm into the physical world. That kind of faith rewrites futures. So stop waiting, stop wondering, begin walking. Begin thinking and acting as the one who already has it. Your job is not to make it happen. Your job is to become the proof before the manifestation. The physical will bow to the spiritual. Because faith is the evidence before the manifestation ever arrives. You are not a victim of life, you are the initiator of it. Prepare for overflow by becoming the person who lives in it now. Life will echo your decision with abundance. There is a moment in every journey when you must stop pointing to the outside and start claiming the power within. That moment is now. The world you see is not something happening to you, it is responding to you. It takes its shape based on the mold of your assumptions, your self-concept, your decisions. You are not here to wait and react. You are here to create. Too many live as if life is a series of accidents and events they must survive. But you were never meant to survive life, you were meant to design it. The moment you realize that you are the cause, not the effect, everything changes. Your language changes, your posture changes, your expectations change. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? And begin asking, what in me is ready to shift so that my life reflects the truth of who I am. Overflow does not chase people. It is drawn to those who expect it, those who embody the feeling of fullness before it arrives. You cannot beg for abundance while believing yourself to be empty. You must decide you are full. You must walk, speak, think, and live as someone who carries the vibration of overflow long before it becomes visible. Your inner world is the command center of your reality. What you accept as true about yourself will echo into your relationships, your finances, your health, your surroundings. If you see yourself as lacking, unworthy, or unlucky, the law of life will support that image. But if you decide, I am chosen, I am favored, I am provided for, then all things begin to organize around that decision. That's not ego, that's alignment with spiritual truth. It is not arrogance to believe you are powerful. It is actually humility to understand that the divine works through you, and you are here to be a conscious participant in your own becoming. You are the vessel through which life flows. The faucet doesn't beg for water, it simply opens. Likewise, you don't need to strive for overflow. You need to become open to it. This begins now, right where you are. You don't need to wait until the conditions are perfect, or the bank account is full, or the applause arrives. Life is not waiting on anyone or anything but you. The moment you choose to embody the state of abundance, overflow must begin to flow into your world. You are the cause, you always have been. So stop rehearsing the story of being a victim. Stop looking backward. Stop blaming others or circumstances. Nothing outside of you has more power than what's inside of you. You are the initiator. You are the doorway. You are the spark. Live today as the person who already walks in overflow, and life will echo your decision with clarity and certainty, because the law of life responds not to your hopes, not to your fears, but to your assumption. You are not waiting for life to change. Life is waiting for you to take your rightful place as the cause. Your life is no longer waiting to change, it is already in motion. The seeds have been planted in your consciousness, and overflow is not a distant dream but a present truth, unfolding from within. You now understand. The world doesn't transform first, you do. And once you rise in self-concept, in faith, in inner fullness, life has no choice but to rise with you. The breaking apart was not your end, it was your rebirth. You are no longer a victim of your past, but the cause of your future. The law responds to the person you believe you are, not the one you used to be. So carry yourself like it's already done. Walk like you are already blessed. Think from the overflow, feel it before you see it, and soon you'll see it everywhere. Prepare yourself, not by waiting, but by becoming. Because your life is about to change forever. And this time, it's not luck, it's alignment. Sincerely thank you for choosing to listen, for choosing to awaken, and most importantly, for choosing yourself. There comes a moment in every life when the weight of hardships feels unbearable. A season where everything you touch seems to crumble, and the dreams you once held so close begin to slip through your fingers like grains of sand. You may wonder, why me? Why now? How long must I endure this storm? These questions swirl in your mind, echoing louder with each passing day. You look around and see others thriving, their lives seemingly untouched by pain, while you struggle to hold on to hope. It feels as though the universe has conspired against you, and the promises of better days are nothing but distant whispers. But what if I told you that your season of hardship isn't a punishment, but a divine preparation? What if this moment of struggle is a setup for the most extraordinary breakthrough you've ever experienced? Imagine for a moment that your pain is the soil in which the seeds of your greatest blessings are being planted. What if this storm is not here to destroy you, but to refine you, to mold you, to transform you into something far greater than you ever imagined? Think about the times in history when the impossible became possible. The darkest nights always precede the dawn, and every miracle was once cloaked in the shroud of hopelessness. Your current season is no different. You're not being abandoned, you're being prepared. You're not being punished, you're being positioned. Stay with me for the next few minutes, because by the end of this speech, you'll not only see your season of hardship differently, but also discover the profound truth that God is working behind the scenes to turn this season into something amazing. Your breakthrough is closer than you think if only you dare to believe it. There's a hidden truth that many overlook in the midst of pain. Your struggle isn't meaningless. While hardship often feels like a burden too heavy to carry, it's essential to recognize that it serves a divine purpose. Every tear, every sleepless night, every moment when you felt like giving up, it's all part of a greater plan, a preparation for the incredible transformation that lies ahead. Think about it this way: just as gold is refined by fire, you too are being refined through your trials. The heat of adversity is not meant to destroy you, but to strip away the things that no longer serve you, to reveal the strength and beauty within you that you may not even realize exists. You may feel like you're being pushed to your limits, but consider this: diamonds are formed under immense pressure. Without that pressure, they remain mere carbon. In the same way, your hardships are shaping you into something extraordinary, something resilient and priceless. Now you might be wondering, why me? Why do I have to endure this pain while others seem to live effortlessly? Understand this: those chosen for greatness are often tested the most. Your journey is unique, and so are the challenges you face. God sees the potential within you, and He knows that without these struggles, you wouldn't grow into the person you're destined to become. Pain is not here to harm you, it's here to elevate you. Look back on your life for a moment. Think about the times when you faced difficulties in the past. At the time, they probably seemed insurmountable, yet here you are. You survived. And not only did you survive, but you also grew. You gained wisdom, strength, and a deeper understanding of yourself and the world around you. Those moments of pain were not wasted, they prepared you for where you are now. And just as those past hardships served a purpose, so too does your current season of difficulty. In moments of pain, it's easy to feel forgotten, like God has turned His back on you. But consider this: even when you can't see the sun during a storm, it's still there, shining above the clouds. God's presence is no different. Even when you can't feel Him, He's working behind the scenes, orchestrating events in your favor. He sees the bigger picture, the future that you can't yet comprehend. Your job is to trust in His plan, even when it doesn't make sense. Take comfort in the fact that every great figure in history endured hardships before achieving greatness. Moses wandered the desert for 40 years before leading his people to freedom. Joseph was betrayed and imprisoned before becoming a ruler in Egypt. These stories are not just tales from ancient times, they are reminders that pain often precedes purpose. Your current struggle is not the end of your story, it's the beginning of something beautiful. But how do you endure pain when it feels so overwhelming? The answer lies in perspective. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What is this teaching me?" Shift your focus from the pain itself to the lessons it's bringing. Every hardship carries a hidden gift, a lesson that, once learned, will propel you forward. Embrace the idea that your pain is a teacher, guiding you toward your purpose. Remember, too, that you're not alone. While it may feel like no one understands what you're going through, God does. He sees every tear, hears every prayer, and feels every ache in your heart. He's not distant, He's right there with you, walking alongside you through the storm. Your pain matters to Him, and He's using it to shape you into the person you're meant to be. So the next time you're overwhelmed by hardship, take a deep breath and remind yourself this is not the end. Your pain has a purpose. It's leading you to a future filled with blessings and opportunities that you can't even imagine right now. Trust the process and trust the one who is guiding you through it. One of the greatest challenges in life is enduring the silence of God. You cry out in desperation, you plead for answers, but the heavens remain still. It's in this silence that doubt begins to creep in, whispering lies that perhaps you've been forgotten, that maybe your prayers have gone unheard. But let me assure you of this: God's silence is not His absence. In fact, it's in the silence that He does His most profound work. Think of a seed buried deep in the soil. From the surface, it appears as though nothing is happening. Days, weeks, even months may pass and there's no visible sign of growth. But beneath the surface, in the unseen, that seed is transforming. It's sprouting roots, drawing nutrients, and preparing to break through the ground as something entirely new. Your life is no different. Just because you can't see progress doesn't mean it's not happening. God is working beneath the surface, arranging circumstances, and preparing you for the blessings that are to come. Silence can feel like abandonment, but it's often a sign of trust. A teacher doesn't speak during a test, because the student is expected to apply what they've already learned. Similarly, God's silence in your life is not a punishment, it's a vote of confidence. He knows you're capable of enduring this season and coming out stronger on the other side. He's watching, guiding, and intervening in ways you may never fully understand. Consider this: the most significant transformations often occur in private. Caterpillars don't transform into butterflies in the open, they do so in the stillness of a cocoon. Likewise, God is cocooning you, sheltering you in His silence as He prepares you for your transformation. It's a time of preparation, not rejection. And when the time is right, you'll emerge stronger, wiser, and more radiant than ever. The challenge is to trust in what you cannot see. Faith isn't about having all the answers, it's about believing in the one who does. God's silence is not a sign that He's forgotten you, it's an opportunity for you to deepen your trust in Him. It's in these moments of stillness that you learn to rely not on your understanding but on His promises. Instead of resisting the silence, embrace it. Use it as an opportunity to grow closer to God. Spend time in prayer, not just asking for what you want, but seeking His presence. Let the silence become a sanctuary, a place where you can hear His whispers and feel His peace. Trust that even in the quiet, He's working all things together for your good. God's silence is not the absence of activity, it's the assurance of His presence. Trust Him in the quiet and you'll see the extraordinary things He's been preparing for you. When hardship strikes, it feels like the universe is conspiring against you. The weight of the burden is overwhelming, and the temptation to give up becomes a daily battle. But what if I told you that this very hardship, the one you wish would disappear, is the key to unlocking your next level of growth? What if the very thing that seems like a curse is, in reality, a blessing in disguise? Hardship is not here to weaken you, it's here to sharpen you. Imagine a sculptor chiseling away at a block of stone. With every strike, pieces fall away, revealing the masterpiece within. Your hardship is the chisel, and you are the stone. It's carving away the excess, the limitations, the doubts, and the fears that have been holding you back. It's painful, yes, but every blow serves a purpose. It's shaping you into the person you're meant to be. Real growth is not comfortable. It's not supposed to be. Think about the process of a seed breaking through the soil. It requires immense effort to push against the darkness and reach the light. Yet without that struggle, it would never grow into the tree it was destined to become. Your hardships are no different. They force you to confront your limitations, challenge your assumptions, and push you to discover strengths you never knew you had. There's a reason why the greatest achievements often follow the toughest battles. It's because hardship teaches you lessons that comfort never could. It builds resilience, the kind of strength that doesn't waver in the face of adversity. It deepens your empathy, allowing you to connect with others who are walking similar paths. It sharpens your focus, clarifying what truly matters in life. But here's the key: you must embrace the hardship. Resisting it only prolongs the struggle. When you stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What can I learn from this?" you shift from being a victim of your circumstances to a student of your experiences. This shift in perspective is powerful. It allows you to see hardship not as an obstacle but as an opportunity for growth. Think about the most inspiring people you know. Chances are they've endured their fair share of hardships. They've faced trials that would break most people, yet they emerged stronger, wiser, and more compassionate. Why? Because they understood that hardship is a catalyst for growth. They didn't let it define them, they let it refine them. Hardship is not a permanent state. It's a season, and seasons change. The pain you're experiencing now is temporary, but the growth it brings is everlasting. Every struggle, every setback, every moment of despair is shaping you into the person you need to become to fulfill your purpose. Trust the process, even when it's hard to see the bigger picture. A diamond doesn't become a diamond overnight. It endures years of pressure and heat before it reaches its final form. You are no different. Your hardships are the pressure and heat that are transforming you into something extraordinary. Embrace them, learn from them, and watch as they propel you toward the life you were meant to live. Faith in the unseen is one of the most challenging yet rewarding concepts to embrace. In a world that values tangible results and visible progress, believing in what you cannot see feels counterintuitive. Yet it's precisely this kind of faith that unlocks the miracles in your life. It's this faith that allows you to stand firm in the midst of chaos, to keep moving forward when there's no evidence that things will get better. Faith in the unseen is not blind optimism. It's a deep, unshakable trust in the promises of God. It's believing that even when you can't see His hand, He's still working. Imagine walking through a dense fog. You can't see what lies ahead, but you trust the ground beneath your feet with every step you take. That's what faith is. It's moving forward even when the path is unclear, trusting that each step is leading you closer to your destination. The unseen is where God does His best work. Just because you can't see progress doesn't mean it's not happening. Think about the roots of a tree. They grow deep into the soil, unseen by the naked eye, providing the foundation and nourishment the tree needs to flourish. Without those roots, the tree would never survive. In the same way, the unseen work happening in your life is laying the foundation for your future. Faith in the unseen is what separates those who merely survive from those who thrive. It's easy to believe in something when it's right in front of you. It's much harder to believe when there's no evidence, no sign, no proof that things will improve. But that's where true faith comes in. It's the ability to see beyond your current reality, to envision a future filled with possibilities, and to trust that God is guiding you every step of the way. One of the most powerful aspects of faith is its ability to change your perspective. When you have faith, you stop focusing on what's missing and start focusing on what's possible. You begin to see your hardships not as obstacles, but as opportunities for growth and transformation. You start to recognize the unseen blessings that are unfolding in your life, even in the midst of struggle. Faith in the unseen doesn't mean ignoring reality. It means acknowledging the challenges you face, while choosing to believe in a greater reality, a reality shaped by the promises of God. It means trusting that even in your darkest moments, there's a purpose to your pain and a plan for your life. So how do you cultivate this kind of faith? Start by shifting your focus. Instead of dwelling on what you don't have or what's not working, start looking for the small signs of progress, the tiny glimpses of hope. Surround yourself with reminders of God's promises, whether it's through scripture, prayer, or the testimonies of others who walked similar paths. Faith in the unseen also requires patience. It's not about demanding instant results, it's about trusting in God's timing. Remember, His timing is perfect, even when it doesn't align with your expectations. He sees the bigger picture, and He knows what you need, and when you need it. Finally, faith in the unseen is about surrender. It's about letting go of the need to control every outcome and trusting that God's plan is far greater than anything you could imagine. It's about releasing your fears, doubts, and worries and placing them in His hands. When you have faith in the unseen, you open yourself up to a life of limitless possibilities. You begin to see that your current reality is not the end of your story, it's just a chapter in a much larger narrative. Trust in the unseen and watch as God turns your hardships into the most extraordinary blessings. Life is made up of seasons, moments of joy and moments of struggle, periods of growth and times of waiting. No matter where you are right now, remember this: your current season, no matter how difficult or painful, is temporary. It will not last forever. Just as the winter eventually gives way to spring, your hardship will eventually make way for a season of abundance and joy. When you're in the midst of a challenging season, it can feel like it will never end. The weight of your burdens feels constant, and hope seems like a distant memory. But the truth is, seasons are always changing. Just as the earth continues its rotation, your life is constantly moving forward. The darkness you're experiencing now is not your permanent reality, it's just one chapter in a much larger story. Think about how nature operates. After the cold and barren winter, spring always arrives. Flowers bloom, trees regain their leaves, and life bursts forth in abundance. But if the winter never came, the beauty of spring wouldn't feel so profound. The same principle applies to your life. The hardships you face now are setting the stage for your future blessings. They're teaching you patience, building your strength, and preparing you to fully embrace the joy that's coming. One of the most powerful truths about life is its ability to change. Nothing is static. The pain you feel today can transform into wisdom tomorrow. The challenges you face now can become the foundation of your greatest triumphs. It's in the ebb and flow of life seasons that we learn the most about ourselves and our purpose. During tough seasons, it's easy to focus on the storm and forget the promise of clear skies ahead. But let me remind you, every storm has an end. The rain may pour, the winds may howl, and the sky may grow dark. But eventually the clouds will part and the sun will shine again. This is not just a poetic notion, it's a fundamental truth of life. Your season of hardship will pass. The key is to hold on and not give up before the breakthrough comes. What can you do while you're waiting for this season to change? First, remind yourself daily that this is temporary. No matter how overwhelming your challenges may feel, they are not here to stay. Affirm this truth to yourself. This is not the end. My story is still unfolding. Second, use this time to grow. Reflect on what this season is teaching you. Are you learning patience, resilience, or gratitude? These lessons will serve you in ways you can't yet imagine. Embrace the fact that every season has a purpose. The difficulties you face now are not random, they're part of a divine plan. They're shaping you into the person you're meant to be. When you come out of this season, you'll be stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the blessings that await you. Just as the harsh winds of winter strengthen the roots of a tree, your hardships are strengthening your foundation. The pain you're experiencing now is temporary, but the growth it produces will last a lifetime. Trust the process even when it's hard to see the bigger picture. Hold on to hope and know that brighter days are ahead. Gratitude is one of the most powerful tools you have during seasons of hardship. It may sound counterintuitive. How can you be thankful when you're in pain? When your life feels like it's falling apart? But gratitude doesn't deny the reality of your struggles. Instead, it shifts your focus from what's wrong to what's right, from what you've lost to what you still have. And in that shift lies the secret to transforming your mindset and ultimately your circumstances. When you choose gratitude, you take back your power. You refuse to let your hardships define you or dictate your emotions. Instead, you acknowledge the blessings that still exist in your life, no matter how small they may seem. Gratitude is not about ignoring your pain, it's about finding the silver linings in the midst of the storm. It's about recognizing that even in your darkest moments, there are still reasons to be thankful. Think about it, even now, in the middle of your struggles, there are blessings you may be overlooking. The breath in your lungs, the roof over your head, the people who love you, the lessons you're learning, these are all gifts. By focusing on these blessings, you remind yourself that your life is bigger than your current challenges. You shift your perspective from scarcity to abundance, from despair to hope. Gratitude also has a profound effect on your mindset. When you practice gratitude, you train your brain to look for the good in every situation. This doesn't mean ignoring the bad, but it does mean refusing to dwell on it. Instead of letting your hardships consume you, you begin to see them as opportunities for growth and transformation. You realize that even the most difficult moments can carry hidden blessings. One of the most incredible things about gratitude is its ability to multiply. The more you focus on what you're thankful for, the more you begin to notice additional blessings in your life. It's as if the act of giving thanks opens your eyes to the abundance that's already around you. And as you cultivate this attitude of gratitude, you'll find that your hardships become a little less daunting. They no longer feel like insurmountable obstacles, but rather stepping stones on your journey. Gratitude doesn't just change your perspective, it also changes your energy. When you approach life with a thankful heart, you radiate positivity. This shift in energy doesn't just affect you, it also impacts those around you. Your gratitude becomes a source of inspiration and encouragement for others, creating a ripple effect of positivity. Practicing gratitude in the midst of struggle is not easy, but it is powerful. Start small. Each day, take a few moments to reflect on 3 things you're grateful for. Write them down, speak them aloud, or meditate on them. As you make this a daily practice, you'll begin to notice a shift in your mindset. You'll start to see your struggles not as punishments, but as opportunities for growth and transformation. Gratitude doesn't erase your pain, but it gives you the strength to endure it. It reminds you that even in your darkest moments, there is still light. It helps you see your hardships not as the end of your story, but as a chapter in a much larger narrative. So choose gratitude. Choose to focus on the blessings in your life, no matter how small, and watch as your perspective shifts, your strength grows, and your season of hardship begins to transform into a season of abundance. The most powerful tool you possess in any season of hardship is your mind. It's the gateway to your perspective, the lens through which you view your circumstances, and the engine driving your actions. While external challenges can feel overwhelming, the truth is that what happens within your mind is far more important than what happens around you. If you can control your thoughts, you can control your life. Your mind holds the key to transforming your hardship into a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block. Consider this: every great achievement in history began as a thought. Before the skyscraper was built, it was imagined in the mind of an architect. Before a groundbreaking invention came to life, it was conceived in the mind of its creator. The same principle applies to your life. The way you think about your hardship will determine the way you move through it, and ultimately whether you overcome it. But here's the challenge: in seasons of difficulty, your mind often becomes your greatest battlefield. Doubts creep in, whispering lies that you're not enough, that your situation is hopeless, that you'll never find a way out. Fear tries to paralyze you, replaying worst-case scenarios and keeping you stuck in a loop of anxiety. If you allow these negative thoughts to take root, they'll grow like weeds, choking out any hope or faith you have. This is why mastering your mind is crucial. You must become intentional about the thoughts you allow to linger. When a negative thought enters your mind, ask yourself, is this thought serving me? Is it helping me move closer to the life I want to create? If the answer is no, replace it with a thought that aligns with your goals and values. You can't always control the first thought that pops into your head, but you can control whether or not you entertain it. One of the most effective ways to take control of your mind is through visualization. This isn't just wishful thinking, it's a powerful tool for reprogramming your brain. When you visualize yourself overcoming your hardship, achieving your goals, and living the life you desire, you activate the same neural pathways as if you were physically experiencing those things. Over time, your brain begins to align with the reality you're envisioning, making it easier to take the actions necessary to bring that vision to life. Affirmations are another powerful tool. Speak life over yourself daily. Say things like, I am strong. I am capable. This season will not defeat me. I am being prepared for something greater. The words you speak to yourself matter more than you realize. They shape your beliefs, and your beliefs shape your actions. Your mind also holds the power to reframe your perspective. Instead of seeing your hardship as a punishment, choose to see it as an opportunity. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I grow through this experience? When you shift your focus from what you're losing to what you're gaining, you unlock a sense of empowerment that allows you to move forward with confidence. One of the greatest truths about the mind is that it thrives on what you feed it. If you constantly consume negativity, whether through your thoughts, your environment, or the people you surround yourself with, your mind will reflect that. But if you feed your mind with positivity, encouragement, and faith, it will begin to operate from a place of strength and possibility. Be mindful of what you're allowing into your mental space. Protect it fiercely, because it is the foundation of your future. Your mind is not your enemy. It's your greatest ally when you learn to harness its power. Even in the darkest seasons, you have the ability to choose your thoughts, to rewrite your narrative, and to create a vision for your future that is stronger than any hardship you face. Use your mind as the key to unlock the door to your breakthrough. One of the most difficult truths to accept during seasons of hardship is that your timing is not God's timing. You may feel like your prayers are going unanswered, like your breakthrough is delayed, or like you're stuck in a never-ending cycle of waiting. But let me assure you of this, God's timing is always perfect. He sees the end from the beginning, and His plan for your life is far greater than anything you could ever imagine. We live in a world that values instant gratification. When we want something, we want it now. Waiting feels unbearable, especially when we're in the midst of pain. But God doesn't operate on our timeline. He's not in a rush, because He's more concerned with preparing you for your blessing than delivering it prematurely. Imagine giving a child a responsibility they're not ready for. It could cause more harm than good. In the same way, God withholds certain blessings until you're ready to receive and steward them. During seasons of waiting, it's easy to feel forgotten. You look around and see others achieving their dreams, moving forward, and seemingly thriving while you're stuck in place. But what you don't see is what's happening behind the scenes. God is not idle. He's working in the unseen, orchestrating events, aligning opportunities, and preparing you for the moment when everything will come together. Think about the story of Joseph in the Bible. He endured years of betrayal, slavery, and imprisonment before he was elevated to a position of power in Egypt. During those years of hardship, it must have seemed like God had forgotten him. But in reality, God was using every experience to prepare Joseph for his destiny. If Joseph had been elevated prematurely, he wouldn't have been ready to fulfill the purpose God had for him. The same is true for you. God's timing requires trust. It requires surrendering your need for control and believing that He knows what's best for you. This doesn't mean passively waiting, it means actively preparing. Use this time to grow, to learn, and to deepen your relationship with Him. Trust that when the time is right, He will open the doors that no one can shut. Waiting on God's timing also builds your faith. It teaches you to rely not on your own understanding but on His wisdom. It reminds you that your life is not a series of random events, it's a carefully orchestrated plan designed by the Creator of the universe. Every delay, every detour, every moment of waiting is part of that plan. Patience is not just about enduring the wait, it's about trusting that the wait is worth it. God's timing is not just about delivering what you've been praying for, it's about delivering it in a way that exceeds your expectations. When the blessing finally arrives, you'll see that the wait wasn't a delay, it was preparation. And in that moment, you'll understand that His timing is not just perfect, it's miraculous. Trust in God's timing, even when it feels like nothing is happening. He's never late, never early, but always right on time. Your season of waiting is not wasted, it's preparing you for the season of abundance that's coming. Hold on, have faith, and know that His plan for you is worth every moment of the wait. Life is full of experiences that leave marks, some physical, but many emotional and spiritual. These wounds often come from betrayals, failures, disappointments, or loss. They can feel like scars that weigh heavily on your heart and mind. But what if these wounds were not meant to hold you back but to teach you? What if every painful experience was actually a lesson in disguise, offering you the wisdom you need to navigate the path ahead? Wounds, though painful, are powerful teachers. They show you where you've been, what you've endured, and what you've overcome. They remind you that you are stronger than you thought and more resilient than you believed. But the key to unlocking the wisdom within your wounds lies in your perspective. If you view your wounds as a curse, they'll feel like a burden. But if you view them as opportunities to grow, they'll become the foundation of your strength. Think of a tree that's been struck by lightning. The scar left on its trunk is permanent, but the tree continues to grow around it, stronger and more resilient. It doesn't let the wound define its future growth, it uses it as a part of its story. You are that tree. Your wounds may feel like permanent marks, but they are also evidence of your survival, your perseverance, and your ability to move forward. Turning your wounds into wisdom requires reflection. Instead of suppressing your pain, take time to examine it. What did that experience teach you? What did it reveal about yourself, about others, or about life? Every wound contains a lesson, but you must be willing to face it to uncover its wisdom. It's not about dwelling on the past, but about learning from it to create a better future. Your wounds also have the power to connect you with others. Pain is a universal experience, and when you use your wounds to help others, they become a source of healing not just for you, but for those around you. Sharing your story of how you turned pain into purpose can inspire others to do the same. It transforms your wounds from something that once hurt you into something that empowers others. The wisdom gained from your wounds also prepares you for the challenges ahead. It teaches you what to avoid, what to pursue, and how to navigate life with greater clarity and discernment. You become less reactive and more intentional, less fearful and more courageous. The experiences that once threatened to break you now equip you to face the future with confidence. But turning wounds into wisdom doesn't mean ignoring the pain or pretending it doesn't exist. It means embracing the healing process. It means acknowledging your hurt, allowing yourself to grieve, and then choosing to rise above it. Healing takes time, but with each step forward, you move closer to transforming your pain into power. Your wounds are not the end of your story, they are the beginning of a new chapter. They are the seeds of wisdom that will guide you through life's storms. Embrace them, learn from them, and watch as they become the stepping stones to your greatest growth. Surrender. The word itself may sound like defeat, but in reality, surrendering is one of the most powerful and transformative decisions you can make in your life. It's not about giving up. It's about letting go of the need to control every detail of your life and trusting in something greater than yourself. It's about releasing your fears, your doubts, and your plans and placing them into the hands of the Creator. Life often feels like a battle. You're fighting to succeed, fighting to survive, fighting to control outcomes, and fighting to hold everything together. This constant striving can leave you exhausted, frustrated, and overwhelmed. But here's the truth. There's only so much you can do on your own. At some point, you have to realize that the weight you're carrying is not yours to bear alone. That's where the power of surrender comes in. Surrendering doesn't mean you stop trying or that you become passive. It means you release the illusion of control. It means acknowledging that while you have a role to play, there are aspects of life that are beyond your understanding and ability to manage. When you surrender, you shift your focus from trying to control the uncontrollable to trusting the one who controls everything. Think about a boat navigating a river. The captain can steer the boat, but they can't control the current. Trying to fight against the flow will only lead to exhaustion and frustration. But when the captain surrenders to the current, they can use its power to move forward with ease. In the same way, when you surrender to God's plan, you align yourself with the flow of His purpose, allowing His strength to carry you through. Surrendering is not a one-time event, it's a daily decision. It's choosing to let go of worry and anxiety, to stop replaying the what-ifs in your mind, and to trust that God's timing and plans are perfect. It's a conscious choice to release the grip of fear and replace it with faith. The power of surrender lies in its ability to bring peace. When you let go of the need to control everything, you free yourself from the constant stress and pressure that comes with it. You begin to experience a sense of calm, knowing that you don't have to have all the answers because God does. This peace doesn't come from your circumstances, it comes from the assurance that you're being guided by a higher power. Surrendering also opens the door to miracles. When you stop trying to force outcomes, you create space for God to work in ways that are far beyond your imagination. You allow Him to move in your life in ways that align with His perfect plan. It's often in the moments when you release your grip that breakthroughs happen, doors open, and opportunities appear. Surrendering doesn't mean you lose control, it means you gain freedom. Freedom from the burdens of fear, worry, and doubt. Freedom to live with faith, hope, and peace. It's not a sign of weakness, it's a declaration of strength, a decision to lean on the one who holds the universe in His hands. So let go. Release your fears, your plans, and your doubts. Trust that God is working all things together for your good. And as you surrender, watch as He takes your life in directions you never could have imagined, leading you to a future filled with hope, purpose, and peace. As we bring this journey to a close, let me remind you of the most powerful truth: your hardship is not the end of your story. It's merely a chapter in the divine narrative of your life. Every tear, every trial, and every moment of pain is part of a grander plan, a plan designed to aid you, to refine you, and to prepare you for something extraordinary. You may not see it now. The weight of your struggles might feel unbearable, and the path ahead may seem unclear. But remember, every storm passes, every night gives way to dawn. This season of hardship is temporary, but the growth, wisdom, and blessings it brings will last a lifetime. Through your pain, God is teaching you purpose. Through His silence, He is working behind the scenes. Your struggles are catalysts for your transformation, pushing you to grow in ways you never thought possible. And as you align your mind with faith and trust in His perfect timing, you begin to unlock the miraculous potential that lies within you. Turn your wounds into wisdom. Let your scars tell a story of perseverance, strength, and victory. Surrender your fears and plans to the one who holds your future, knowing that His vision for your life is greater than anything you could imagine. Trust that even in the darkest moments, God is working all things together for your good. So hold on. Keep moving forward. Keep believing. The breakthrough you've been praying for is closer than you think. Your pain has a purpose. Your faith will be rewarded, and your season of hardship will transform into a testimony of God's amazing grace and power. You are not alone. You are not forgotten. And you are not defeated. The Creator of the universe is with you, walking beside you, and preparing you for a future filled with hope, abundance, and joy. Trust the process and trust Him, because He is turning your seasons of hardship into something truly amazing. When the world around you presents evidence that contradicts your desires, it can be hard to hold on to belief. Reason steps in, telling you what is not possible, what cannot be, and what is impractical. But in this moment, you have the power to choose. You must decide whether you will let reason govern your life, or if you will allow your imagination to lead the way. The truth is, belief is not a matter of external proof. It is a matter of what you hold true in your own heart, what you choose to impress upon your mind. When reason stands in opposition, this is when faith becomes a true power. Faith is not passive, it requires an active engagement with the unseen. To believe it when reason denies it means stepping into the unknown with the confidence that your inner world creates your outer world. At this point, you must trust in your own creative power. Reason may offer its judgments, but it cannot control the limitless potential of your imagination. Your imagination is where everything begins. If you can see it, if you can feel it, if you can believe in it despite all evidence to the contrary, then you are opening the door to a new reality. What you imagine can become real, not because of logic, but because you have chosen to trust the power within you. So how do you believe it when reason denies it? You must silence the doubting thoughts and allow yourself to feel the reality of your desires. Close your eyes, enter into the stillness, and feel the joy of your success, your abundance, or your peace, whatever it may be. Allow that feeling to fill you up, and in that moment believe that it is already yours. The more you live in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, the more it will unfold into your life. Trust is your anchor in this process. Trust that the unseen forces of the universe are working in alignment with your belief, even when you cannot see how it will all come together. Your belief is the bridge between the visible and the invisible. Keep holding that belief, even when the outer world does not reflect it yet. Remember, the world is only a mirror of your thoughts, and when you change within, the world must shift to match your new reality. You are the creator of your own experience, and when reason denies it, your imagination, your belief, and your trust are the keys to unlocking the life you truly desire. Believe it, live it, feel it, and watch as your world transforms in response to your inner knowing. In the world around you, there are endless opportunities and possibilities. Yet so often your mind is flooded with doubts, with reason stepping in to convince you that what you desire is impossible, out of reach, or unrealistic. It is as if the world around you creates barriers, whispers no, and fills your mind with contradictions. It is here that you face a choice. Do you follow the whispers of reason, or do you trust in something deeper, something more powerful, the creative power of your imagination? When reason denies it, when your logical mind argues against your dreams, that is precisely the moment when your power to believe must shine. This is where your faith becomes the key. You see, belief is not a passive thing. It is not something that simply exists because you wish it to. Belief is an active force, a force that you must consciously cultivate, nurture, and protect. The world of reason, governed by logic, is designed to limit. It seeks to define what is possible and what is impossible based on what has been experienced before. It looks at the evidence around you and uses that evidence to form its conclusions. But here is the truth: the evidence of the senses does not create reality. It only reflects the belief you have in your own heart. Reason might show you lack, limitation, or struggle, but that is not the ultimate reality. That is merely a reflection of what has been accepted in the past, and the past does not have to determine your future. Your imagination is not bound by what is seen. It is not limited to the evidence you see in the world around you. Imagination, your ability to picture something in your mind, to feel the reality of what you desire as though it is already here, is the true creator of your world. When reason denies it, your imagination steps in to offer you a new possibility. It offers you an invitation to step beyond the confines of the world's limitations and into a place where anything is possible. There is power in feeling. The feeling of your desire already being fulfilled is the key to transforming your life. So many people fail to understand this fundamental truth. They seek evidence. They wait for the world to show them that what they desire is possible before they allow themselves to believe. But this is backwards. The world will never show you what you desire until you believe it is already yours. The outer world is simply a mirror reflecting the state of your inner world. When you choose to believe in the unseen, to trust in your inner vision and allow it to fill your heart with the feeling of already having what you desire, the outer world must follow suit. To believe it when reason denies it means to cultivate the belief that you already have what you want, even when the world tells you otherwise. It means turning inward and finding that place within you that already knows you are deserving of your desires, that already knows you are worthy of all that you dream of. The world will try to tell you that your dreams are impossible, that they are too big, that they are out of reach. But it is in these moments, when reason stands in opposition, that your belief must rise above the limitations of logic. Your belief is the force that shapes your reality. When you believe it, even when everything outside of you seems to say otherwise, you create the space for your desires to come to you. You must understand that belief is not simply a mental exercise. It is not about convincing yourself in a moment of doubt that something is possible. True belief goes deeper than that. It is a feeling, a knowing, a conviction that you carry with you at all times. It is not something that comes and goes with the winds of external circumstances. It is something that you choose to embrace fully. When you truly believe, you stop looking for evidence, for proof. You stop seeking validation from the outside world. You stop asking, when will it happen, or how will it happen, because you already know that it is happening, and you trust that everything is unfolding in divine order. The mind, when left unchecked, will tell you that something is impossible. It will bombard you with logical reasons why your desires are too far-fetched, why they are unrealistic, why they cannot happen for you. But the mind is not your master, it is merely a tool. You are the creator, and you are not bound by the limitations of your mind. You are the one who chooses what you will believe, what you will allow yourself to feel, and what you will allow yourself to imagine. When reason denies it, you must turn inward and look beyond the logic of the mind to the limitless potential within you. You must allow yourself to see with the eyes of faith, to believe in the unseen, to trust that your desires are already unfolding, even if the outer world has yet to reflect it. Every great success in life begins with the decision to believe in something greater than what the senses present. It begins with the decision to trust in the unseen, to live in the feeling of the wish fulfilled. You may not yet see the evidence, but that does not matter. The only thing that matters is your unwavering belief that your desires are already yours. The more you live in that belief, the more the world will shift to match it. The more you trust in the unseen forces working on your behalf, the more the circumstances around you will rearrange themselves to bring you what you desire. You must understand that what you desire is already yours, even if it has not yet manifested in the physical world. Everything that you wish for exists in the realm of the unseen. It exists as a possibility, as a potential that is waiting for you to bring it into reality. When reason denies it, your belief steps in to bridge the gap between the unseen and the seen. Your belief creates the pathway for your desires to materialize. The feeling of already having what you desire is the most powerful force you can harness. It is not enough to merely think about your desires, you must feel them. You must feel the reality of your wish fulfilled, and you must do so consistently. When you live in the feeling of already having what you want, you align yourself with the energy of abundance, of success, of peace. You align yourself with the vibration of your desires, and in doing so, you draw them closer to you. In moments when reason tells you that it cannot happen, when doubt creeps in and tells you that your desires are impossible, that is the moment to dig deeper. That is the moment to cultivate your belief even further. Know that your belief is not dependent on what is seen around you. It is not dependent on the external world's approval or validation. Your belief is your inner knowing, your inner truth, and it is the most powerful tool you have. When you believe it, when you truly feel it, The world around you must change to match your inner state. So how do you believe it when reason denies it? You begin by trusting in your own power to create. You begin by turning inward and finding that place of stillness where the truth of your desires already exists. You begin by feeling the reality of your dreams even before the world shows you evidence. The more you do this, the more you live in the feeling of your desires already fulfilled, the more the outer world will reflect that belief. You are the creator of your reality. You are the one who shapes your world through your thoughts, your beliefs, and your feelings. When reason denies it, you must rise above the limitations of the senses and trust in the unseen. You must trust that everything is working in your favor, even when the world appears to tell you otherwise. And as you continue to believe, as you continue to live in the feeling of already having what you desire, the world around you will transform in ways you could never have imagined. Your belief is the key to unlocking your dreams. And when you choose to believe, you open the door to infinite possibilities. It is time to stop waiting for the world to give you permission to believe. It is time to stop allowing reason to dictate what is possible. When reason denies it, your belief must be even stronger. You are the creator of your reality, and your belief in the unseen is the force that will shape your world. Believe it, feel it, know it, and watch as your desires manifest before your very eyes. In a world that constantly bombards you with evidence of what's possible and what's not, it becomes all too easy to fall into the trap of accepting what reason and logic suggest. Reason tells you that only what can be seen, touched, or verified can be true, and often it stands in opposition to the desires of your heart. Yet it is precisely in these moments when reason denies your dreams that your power to create your reality is most potent. You must understand that the outer world is a mere reflection of what is happening within you. When you look at the world, you see the result of thoughts, beliefs, and emotions that have been impressed upon your mind over time. Everything around you is a mirror of your inner state. When you look at your life, you see the reflection of what you have believed to be true, consciously or unconsciously. This is the key to understanding how to believe when reason denies it. The outer world is not what dictates your reality, it is your inner world, your beliefs, and your imagination that shape your life. Most people live in reaction to the world. They allow the evidence before them to dictate their thoughts, beliefs, and actions. When things go wrong, they believe that something is out of their control. When challenges arise, they view them as insurmountable obstacles. Yet the true creative power lies not in reacting to the outer world, but in actively creating your inner world, and from that place, shaping the outer world to reflect your desires. The key to believing in your dreams, especially when reason stands in opposition, is to stop allowing the external to control you. You must become the creator of your reality by consciously choosing the beliefs and feelings that align with your desires. When reason denies your dreams, that is the moment when faith and imagination step in. Faith is not a passive waiting game. It is not sitting back and hoping that something will happen. Faith is a living, breathing force that you must actively engage with. It is not belief in something that has already happened, but belief in something that is happening now, despite the fact that the outer world may not reflect it. Faith is knowing in the core of your being that what you desire is already yours. It is living in the feeling of that reality before it manifests. It is trusting that everything you desire is already in motion, even if you cannot yet see it with your physical eyes. Your imagination is the most powerful tool you have at your disposal. When reason says no, when logic tells you that something is impossible, your imagination has the ability to show you a different reality. It has the ability to take you beyond the physical evidence and into the realm of limitless possibility. In this realm, there are no limits to what you can create. If you can imagine it, you can bring it into being. The power of imagination is that it allows you to step outside of the limitations of the senses and tap into a higher frequency of creation. Imagination is not just daydreaming or wishful thinking. It is the act of feeling into the reality of what you desire. It is not enough to think about your desires, you must feel them. You must immerse yourself in the experience of having what you want. This is the key to manifesting your desires. Your imagination is the bridge between the unseen and the seen. It is where your desires are first formed, and it is where they must remain until they take physical form in the world. When you believe in something before it appears, you are aligning yourself with the creative forces of the universe. The feeling of having what you desire is the most important part of this process. This feeling is what aligns you with the frequency of your desires. When you feel the reality of your wish fulfilled, you activate the creative forces that will bring it into being. Your belief is what attracts your desires to you. To believe it when reason denies it means that you must stop looking at the world for evidence. You must stop seeking permission from the outside to believe in the possibility of your dreams. When reason denies your dreams, it is simply showing you the current state of your reality. But this current state is not fixed. It is not set in stone. You have the power to change it by changing your inner world, by changing the thoughts, beliefs, and feelings that shape your experience. This is the essence of true creation, the power to choose what you believe, regardless of the circumstances around you. The world may not show you the evidence of your desires right away, but that does not mean they are not coming. The outer world is simply a reflection of what has been previously accepted in your mind. When you begin to change your inner world, when you begin to believe in your dreams before they manifest, the outer world must shift to match that new belief. Imagine a life where you are no longer dependent on the outer world to tell you what is possible. Imagine a life where you are not waiting for evidence to show up before you allow yourself to believe in the possibility of your desires. This is the power of true belief. It is the ability to trust in the unseen, to live in the feeling of your desires already being fulfilled, regardless of what the outer world is showing you. When you live in that belief, when you live in that feeling, the outer world has no choice but to catch up. You must train your mind to believe in the unseen. You must train yourself to believe in the possibilities that exist beyond the evidence of the senses. This is not an easy task because the world around you is constantly trying to tell you what is possible and what is not. But it is the very act of defying the limitations of the senses, of choosing to believe in the unseen, that gives you the power to create your reality. Your imagination is not bound by time, space, or logic. It is not limited by what is seen. It has the ability to reach into the realm of infinite possibilities and bring your desires into being. When reason denies your dreams, you must take a stand. You must decide that your dreams are worth believing in, regardless of the current circumstances. You must decide that your desires are worth fighting for, even when the world tells you they are impossible. This is not about waiting for the world to change. This is about changing the way you see the world. When you change the way you see things, when you change your beliefs about what is possible, the world must change to match that new perspective. You must also understand that belief is not a one-time act. It is a practice. It is something you must do every day, every moment. The more you believe, the more you align yourself with the energy of your desires. The more you align yourself with that energy, the more your desires will begin to materialize. It is not about forcing things to happen, it is about being in harmony with the energy of what you desire. When reason tells you that something is impossible, this is your opportunity to prove the power of your belief. This is your opportunity to show the world that you are not bound by the limitations of logic, that you are not bound by the evidence of the senses. You have the power to create your reality, and that power comes from your belief in the unseen, in the impossible. When you begin to live in the feeling of your desires already being fulfilled, you begin to shift the energy around you. You begin to align yourself with the vibration of your desires. This is not about waiting for things to happen. It is about being in the state of already having what you want. The more you live in that state, the more the universe will rearrange itself to bring you what you desire. The key to believing it when reason denies it is not about proving to the world that you are right. It is about proving to yourself that you have the power to create your reality. It is about trusting in the unseen, in the forces that are working on your behalf, even when you cannot yet see the results. It is about believing that your desires are already yours, even before the evidence appears. When you believe this, you are living in the state of the wish fulfilled, and that is when your desires begin to manifest in your life. The more you practice living in the feeling of already having what you want, the more you will see that the outer world will begin to change. It may not happen overnight, but it will happen. The more you persist in your belief, the more the world will shift to match that belief. You are not a victim of your circumstances, you are the creator of your reality. The key is to believe in the unseen, to trust in the power of your imagination, and to live in the feeling of already having what you desire. In moments when reason denies your dreams, remember this: your beliefs are what shape your world. Your imagination is the force that creates your reality. When you live in the feeling of your desires already being fulfilled, the world has no choice but to reflect that belief. You are the creator of your life, and your beliefs are the blueprint for the reality you are building. Trust in your imagination, trust in your belief, and trust in the unseen. Your desires are already on their way.